Hey everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to dive into a topic that might surprise some of you. Why buying a home to live in might not be the best financial decision. I know, everyone says buying a home is the cornerstone of financial stability and success. But what if I told you that buying a home could actually cost you a lot of money? Let's break it down and see why renting might be a smarter choice when you consider all the hidden costs of home ownership and some missed opportunities. Let's start by talking about the costs associated with owning a home. It's not just about the mortgage payment. There are many other expenses that come into play. Mortgage interest. This is the amount you pay to the bank for borrowing money. Over a 30-year mortgage, you could end up paying thousands or even hundreds of thousands in interest alone. Property taxes. These are yearly taxes you have to pay to the government, and depending on where you live, they can be pretty expensive. Homeowner insurance. This protects your home against damages or losses, and it's another recurring cost that can add up over time. Whether it's fixing a leaky roof or dealing with plumbing issues, experts suggest setting aside 1 to 3% of your home's value every year just for maintenance. Closing costs. When you first buy a home, there are one-time costs called closing costs that can amount to 2 to 5% of the purchase price. Opportunity costs. This is the biggest one. When you buy a house, you usually put down a significant chunk of your money upfront as a down payment. That money could have been invested in the stock market, where it could grow very high over time. Let's put this into perspective with some numbers. Let's say you're buying a home worth 300,000. You put down about 20% of the down payment. That would be 60,000. The remaining 240,000 is financed with the mortgage and an interest of 3% over 30 years. Here's a breakdown of the cost. You have the mortgage payment of about 1,000 euros a month. Then you have the property taxes. They are about 1% each year. So that would be 3,000 euros a year or 250 a month. The insurance is usually about 100 a month. And for the maintenance, we assume a 2% of the home value per year. That would be 500 per month. As you see, that brings us to a total of 1,850 a month you pay. Of course, the house will probably also have more value over time. The average interest is about 3% a year. So the 300,000 euros after 30 years with a 3% interest would be worth 737,000 after 30 years. That sounds like a good investment, right? But let's see if we would rent this house. Let's say the rent would be 1,200 per month. You would pay 650 less. Also, in the beginning you would have 60,000 euros. Because you don't need it for the down payment. We take the monthly rate of 650 euros. And in the stock market, we can calculate with an annual return of 8%. So instead of a 700,000 euro home, you would have 1.6 million euros. So when buying the home, instead of investing in the stock market, you miss out on almost 1 million euros. With this money, you can buy the house twice now. If you want to buy a more expensive house, this gap will increase even more. Of course, there are also other considerations, like emotional satisfaction, stability, and the ability to customize your own space. If owning a house aligned with your personal lifestyle goals, that's valid, and I'm definitely not trying to talk you out of it. As we saw, it's also a good investment. You have a house that's worth way more now, and you don't have to pay rent anymore in your life. If it was always your dream to buy a house to live in, that definitely do it. There are many more advantages, of course, but from a purely financial perspective, especially if you're disciplined and invest the difference wisely, renting is the smarter choice. So there you have it. While buying a home might seem like the ultimate goal, it's important to look at the bigger financial picture. By renting and investing wisely, you could potentially build much greater wealth over time. But remember, it all depends on your personal goals and circumstances. Always do your own research and consider talking to a financial advisor before making any big decisions. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, share and subscribe. And drop a comment down below with your thoughts. Do you think buying a home is worth it? Or do you see the value in renting and investing? Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.